Welcome back once more. I'm sorry if there's noise in the background. They're kind of being a bit loud, but I don't have anywhere else I can do this right now until I get something set up somewhere outside, which I would love to do because that would be a better environment for this anyway. So, we're going to talk about productivity now and figuring out everything that's important towards it. Such a thing. So, I'm just going to jump straight into it. The concept of essentialism is that you you only ever focus on the things that matter to you in life. So, the first step, of course, to essentialism is figuring out what matters to you. For most people, it's work, health, and family. And friends could be thrown in there if need be. But for most, like, entrepreneurs and people that really focus on making it big, it's work, health, and family. Usually kind of in that order, too. A lot of them put health at the top instead, but most of them are work, health, family. You're supposed to make your own list in this, but those are great starting points. Maybe instead of that, you can have work, health, social, or something like that. I don't know. That's just kind of what mine is, because I put friends under mine, but I have them under the same category as family. So like just spending time with people is its own thing rather than just focusing on family. Like relationships overall with family, with friends, whatever, that's all under this category. And it's usually in the lowest of my list because I don't hang out with friends too much. But I will do it. I do hangouts like at least once a week. The second one is health because it's obviously the most important to me because, it's a lot of people don't like putting other things in front of their social life. You don't need to do a whole lot to be good with people. All you really need to do is just talk to them here and there and then like spend time with them occasionally, and that's really it. It's not that difficult to maintain a friendship once it's started. That's why more people struggle with actually getting new friends rather than maintaining their previous friendships. It's because those previous friendships usually really easy to keep. Mostly because most people don't are hardly ever willing to give up a relationship. Like most people, I haven't met a lot of people where both people are in a friendship, but then they grow apart or they start hating each other, whatever, and then they're both actually able to say, yeah, it's best that we separate and stay separated. That almost never happens, especially in school right now, because of, they're constantly being in contact and then they remember good old times and whatever. So most people aren't even really willing to give up friendships anyway, so you don't have to worry about that with almost anyone. And health is more important because if you don't have health, you've got nothing, which is mostly true. Like if you don't have your health, you don't really got much else. As I've stated previously, health is my priority right now. But once school starts again and I start figuring out even more productivity hacks, work is going to start being the priority. This is going to start being the priority. And I'm going to start doing other things on here as well. Because I'm not a super extremist self-improvement sort of guy, I'm going to still play video games, just not very often. Because that's the entire point of video games. It's supposed to be something fun to do. It's not supposed to be a lifestyle. And then comes work, which is right now this. Eventually it'll be a 9 to 5 or whatever I can get, as of my current standing. It'll be whatever I'm able to obtain. But once, it's like these two are technically swapped right now. I'm just doing the bare minimum to make sure these two where they're at don't fall down. And once I start focusing on work, this one, I'm not sure entirely on how to maintain this one yet, because I've never really had to go through the whole essentialism thing, but now I'm realizing it could be really helpful. So this one might tank quite a lot. But it takes almost no time to regenerate that. Like, it takes a sleepover or two. Maybe. And usually even less than that. Usually it just takes me and the boys playing games together or something. It really doesn't take a whole lot. But yeah, it's just like the bare minimum to maintain every single one of these. Like each group of friends I see once a week, and then that's it. It's really not much to maintain friendships. I think even some of mine are still improving, and I'm only seeing most of them like once a week, because they have other people as well. Yeah. So it's social, health, and family for me. Or social, health, and work. You can figure out whatever you want, but you really shouldn't have any more than 4. Because if you have to split your attention between 2 things, it usually makes both of them tank. Like, if you're completely focused on one thing, I'll give you an example real quick. If I try to separate 2 different days to where I'm focused on one thing one day and one thing another day, that's going to be a lot better for both of these things, because I'm going to have a lot of time to do specifically those things than if I tried to focus on both things at separate times in both days. Like, this day could be dedicated to researching health facts or nutritional value information or whatever. And then this can be focused on improving my skills at doing this, getting better in front of the camera, and maybe learning some slight editing skills. These 2 things are going to achieve much more progress if I separate them into their respective days, or better, weeks, than if I'm trying to tackle them both in the same day, every day. Which doesn't seem like it would be the case, but it really is. Especially with a career path like this one. I could just spend the entire day, like, recording or editing. Like, I could spend the entirety, not that I have time today, but I could spend the entirety of today just recording videos for you guys and just slightly editing them. And then I could have videos done for the next 3 weeks. So the career area is good. And with the health, it's just stuff that I need to journal and write down, and then figure out and make sure that stuff actually works. And if it does, I'll keep doing it. And if it doesn't, I'll cross it off. So the reason I've been doing is figuring out my new workout schedule for whenever school starts, because I've realized that going to the gym 6 days out of the week is not going to be very good time-wise for the gym. Especially during school, because school takes up 8 hours. Because it's trash. So it's a lot of wasted time, but you know, there's only so much I can do about that. So school's going to take up 8 hours out of my day, so there's no way that I'm going to, and I don't have any gym classes either, so there's no way I'm going to be able to go from having this full day here where I go to the gym for, I guess technically the whole thing takes 3 hours, but I'm only actually there like a couple of those hours. I'm gonna have to start biking there every single time I go to help trim off 30 minutes. I'm gonna have to figure out times on when I go there and when I come back, it'll probably be like just soon after I get home, really. Like, I have to figure out all these time things. So obviously, while I have all the free time right now, I have health being the focus now, and then later, once I've actually gotten a job, the priority is going to shift over to work. I may be working a 9 to 5 or whatever, so I'm going to make some additional money on the side as well. Well, it probably won't be a 9 to 5 because I'm still underage. But it'll be a part-time job where I'll make a little money on the side, and then I'll take that money and I'll put it into this. My TV is still broken because, funny. And the next thing I'm probably going to get after I get a computer is a monitor, and then all this goes like lightning fast, and like this gets improved infinitely. As soon as I get a good computer and monitor, like this will already have improved like that without me having to do anything else, just by me putting all my accounts on there. And it'll probably go where this is right now, this chair. And I'll probably move a lot of that as well. Like, once I get a job, that's just really when my life is gonna probably pick up like full speed, because I feel like money is really the biggest restriction on me right now. But without the ability to actually get a job that'll hire me, it's a massive problem that I can't fix. So I've just been kind of sitting here keeping my health up so that when I do get a job, I can put as much focus into that as possible without feeling dreary or moping or whatever. So yes. So the first thing is to figure out what the 3 or 4 things, maybe you can even have just 2, like, I don't know, maybe you're fucking, maybe you don't have any family left, I don't know. Maybe somehow you have 2. But figure out your 2 to 4 things that are the things that truly matter to you in life, like will actually get you somewhere. And then figure out the timing on which you want to focus on these. The main way to focus on these things, the main way to figure out which of these to focus on first, to have as your priority, is to figure out which one of these is holding you back from making more progress in life as a whole. Like, a lot of people continue. You've probably heard of the ladder analogy, where each of the 3 things is like a side of the ladder, and the steps. Because if one of these gets built up all the way, but the other 2 are still underdeveloped, this one doesn't mean anything. If 2 of them are pretty good, but this one is lacking, then none of them are going to make you any progress anywhere. I fucking hate how loud they are. Shut up. Say that. They can't hear me. Hey. So, for example, like maybe your work and health are really good, and this is why I can't focus on this right now, because I know that they'll be so fucking loud. Hell. It's absolute hell right now. Some of you guys may remember that short I made on my archive channel like 4, 5, 6 months back. That's still true. Like, that has not changed at all. They're even louder, probably. Oh, where was I? The ladder analogy. So, like, maybe your work maybe your work is really good, maybe you make some good money, but your happiness is still not very good because your health is suffering. Maybe you eat junk food, like you still eat junk food here and there, or you know, you don't use a lot of natural products yet. All your health care is still like store-bought shampoo and all that with all the extra garbage in it. And maybe you haven't upgraded to the next level stuff. Or maybe your social life is just lacking. You need a love interest to really make your productivity skyrocket because your happiness will skyrocket. Maybe you need more friends because you're just really overall lonely. Maybe just something along the lines of that. Maybe ties with your family kind of suck right now, so improving those could bring a lot of clarity to the mind. That's basically the analogy. I'm not going to probably link it. I don't know if I'll remember to. But if it's not in the description, you can go and search up Hamza's video on his Unfiltered channel. It was a Zoom call. Not a Zoom call. It was a call that he did with a ton of people where he explained how essentialism works. And that's where I got it from. And I've been trying it out, and it's really good. I haven't been focused on friends. Again, most of my friends, if I'm even with them once a week, it'll be just once a week and no more than that. The health aspect is what I'm focused on. So most of my YouTube time is dedicated to watching videos on how to do good form in my workouts, focusing on how hard I should work out, nutrition facts, whatever. And then right now, I just kind of do the bare minimum with my family. Like, I'll talk to them, I'll exist, and with work, it's this once a week, and that's it for right now. I'll probably start doing more once August hits, just as to like kind of phase into being really focused on this. But in terms of much, there's really not much for me to add. You pick, I think there's a diagram in that said video where there's like one circle and has a ton of arrows all pointing out in different directions, but none of them almost go anywhere. But then there's another circle that has one arrow pointed in one direction, and it goes across the entire page. That's basically the entire idea of essentialism. You stop focusing on the things that don't really matter. Like, you don't make a insane habit to focus on the things like your fun time hobbies, like video games. Your video games are kept to a few minutes, maybe an hour a day max, like at absolute max. You watching fun stuff like YouTube documentaries and YouTube that doesn't really help you overall. That's kept to a very low minimum, which is what I went over on how to not waste time on the internet. If you haven't watched that, I went over that as well. I feel like I'm also aware that a lot of this is mostly rambling right now, because I'm not even old enough to get a driver's license yet in the United States. I am very young, so I don't expect a lot of this to make a whole lot of sense. But again, it's like getting my character, my personality out there so that people know what to expect out of my videos later. Like, I'm a guy that'll go extremist on some things. I am still trying to get rid of a lot of plastic from my room, and it's going alright. It's not still going super good because no one will buy the clothes. I've got to repost that on my mom's Facebook marketplace because I refuse to get Facebook. So I've got to repost that on my mom's thing, except just at a slightly cheaper price. I'm honestly probably just going to take all the same pictures and just chop it down like $40. I don't even need that much from it. I'm just going to buy like 3 more things of clothing as well as some church clothes off of it. I really don't want that much for it, so I'm not gonna. The only reason I'm not being super greedy on this is because I don't need a lot of money to really change how I live my life right now, and I need these gone. All of this plastic is a massive problem, which is another rabbit hole I'll probably go down in the future. I might also make videos where I ramble about the unimportant stuff, or like just stuff I find dumb. I'll rant or something. Because I can easily go on tangents. Yeah, as you've noticed, I can easily go on tangents just about stuff that doesn't even relate to what I was talking about like 5 minutes ago. I really wish I could use this for these videos. It would look a lot goofier, but you wouldn't have to deal with that, so. But when I tried to use it, whenever I tried talking into the mic, it would just cut off all the audio for some reason. I don't know how it works, but if you know what the problem is, I guess comment down below. This one's probably going to be a shorter video. Like, this will probably be the basics of essentialism. Like, go watch Hamza Unfiltered's video on it, and then you'll probably understand most of what I'm trying to say here. This video is not going to be very good because they keep talking. I keep losing my focus. I can't do this kind of stuff yet. I really need soundproofing. That's why I try everything to help make me focus. I turn everything else in my room off. This phone that I'm recording on is on airplane mode so that I don't get any notifications whatsoever. I try really hard to make sure I'm focused. But they're so fucking loud. They're so loud, so maybe I'll figure something out. I might just start recording these outside. I don't know if my porch is good enough for that. It's a major problem with living in an apartment complex. We don't have our own back porch. It connects directly to a fucking parking lot with people going across it and through like every 10-15 minutes. So it would be interrupted a lot out there as well. But it'd still be better than here. So next week you'll probably see me outside doing this instead. Under a tree or something. I'm sorry that this wasn't able to be as good as I wanted it to. I think essentialism really is like the way to go about all of your life's problems, and it's the way to become successful. But it's just I can't focus right now. They're so loud. It's the main problem. Two of my siblings, one of them just got out of kindergarten this past school year, and the other one's not even in school yet. So they don't know how to stay quiet for more than 5 minutes unless they're being brain dead zombies on a piece of technology or something. And even then they're not that quiet because they'll turn their shit up really loud anyway. So it really doesn't matter what I do yet inside of the house. Just for the time being, I'm gonna go outside as of the next video, because I've already started this, so I'm not going to stop it. I don't want to do that much editing, because this is already going to come out way later than I wanted it to, because I had to do cleaning that wasn't my problem. So, they're just so loud. Now I understand why some houses have a doorway with a door on their stairs. You think some of the volume would get toned down with it having to go all the way up the stairs and through my door? But no, I even have a ton of stuff in front of the door and it makes no difference. I mean, I'm sure it would be louder if I opened it, but... Ugh. This is so loud. You can't tell me you can't hear this. I might look like an insane person. Because you guys aren't like picking up anything. But surely you guys are picking this up. It's so loud. You're gonna get a look behind the scenes though of what causes a bad recording. Because I'm not recording this again. Because it's not going to be any different. It's not going to be any different. Go watch Hamza's video on his unfiltered channel about essentialism. This will just be a message for you to go check out his video. I know a lot of people don't like Hamza because he's all extreme or whatever. It's whatever. I think he still provides really good information from that video. And like, people always don't like successful people. That's a problem most people have. Everyone finds something to complain about. Millionaires and whatever. Everyone. I don't know why a person can't just be a millionaire and not be a piece of garbage. There's tons of them. People just don't want to think that they exist. Of course, billionaires are a different story. But I think most, if not all millionaires, not all, jeez. I think most millionaires aren't terrible people in the sense. They just probably sacrifice a lot of their social life to make it there. So a lot of people are like, oh, he was a bad friend. No, he just didn't care about your friendship that much because you didn't add anything to his life. That might be what another video is based off of. I don't really know what I'm going to base it off of yet. I'm still kind of shooting videos out there aimlessly. This is mostly all to see how much I've changed a few years later. Like, less stuttering, hopefully smarter. Because I think I'm just about average for a 15-year-old boy, and a 15-year-old man can't provide that much value to other people's life. But these videos are made with the impression that I'm going to target other people that are about the same age as me. Hopefully maybe even younger. I really wanted this video to be better. This topic deserves so much more. I'll probably do another video on it in the future, but I really need to figure out this whole setup first, so the next couple videos will probably be burner videos that I don't put much effort into. And then, but they'll still have stuff in them, of course. It'll just be like basic knowledge stuff or whatever. Like, it'll be basic level stuff. I can't think of an example right now because I'm so unfocused. This is annoying as hell. I deal with this every day. There's nothing I can do about it. I guess that's another message that I'll leave with you today. Control what you can, just work around what you can't. I can't control their volume. I've tried everything, and I mean everything. I've tried everything to get them to shut the hell up, and they never do. They're loud as hell all the time, all throughout the day. Unless they are asleep. Which is why on my old archive channel, me and Midnight Games would play like Predator Hunting Grounds at 5 in the morning. Because none of our families were this loud during this. His family usually isn't anyway. But it would also be colder, so he wouldn't have his fan directly on his mic, so it would also be better for him as well. I'm going to start recording outside because I can't do this every single time. And it's not like I'm going to record right first thing in the morning, because I do other things in the morning. I don't have that kind of time. I do so many other things in the morning, I'm not going to be able to fit that in. So, especially since I moderate Easy Peasy's Discord server, and that's been picking up steam. Like, a lot of steam. We had our first meeting yesterday. It was really productive as well. At least I like to think so anyway, because we talked about a lot of stuff. We didn't waste any time with games or anything. We just went straight to the point of, like, how do we make the server better? I think it was quite good. Again, my focus is terrible. My focus is awful in this house because there's so much noise going on all the time. I need to learn to tone things out. Tune things out. Also, this voice on shit wasn't so loud. So yeah, I expect this to... I need to end this, because there's no point wasting any more time. Because this has already been going on for like a thing that's just been me rambling for like 10 minutes. That's just going to be the title of this video now. I'm not even going to try and name it anything useful. I'm just going to name it basically 30 minutes of me rambling. Like 15 minutes of actually half-decent advice, and then 15 minutes of me rambling about how terrible the fucking soundproofing is in this building. And everything else along that line. So I'm just going to end this video here. You don't need to have gotten anything from this video. I don't expect you to have. This is probably more entertainment to you now. But whatever. Just, if you want to gain something out of this video, I'll recommend you go watch the video that I've mentioned several times. Hamza's video on his Unfiltered channel, where he's talking about essentialism and effortlessness. I'll link it down in the description because I forgot what it's titled, so I'm going to have to link it down there. So if you want to gain anything from this video, go look at that. But if you were just looking for this video for entertainment purposes, I guess you got that anyway.